Greetings everybody, this is HAHAHAHA Show and welcome back again to another video, and this time we're going to be doing another game review. I've been playing Wolfenstein the new Colossus for some time now. I have about maybe 15 to 17 hours in the game, I believe, and so far I've been enjoying it moderately. So let's just dive into it right now. And the first thing we're gonna get into is the story. So this is about a hero fighting the German Nazis who won the World War II by using superior technology and now has taken over the world. And the protagonist, known as Terrorbilly or BJ Blazkowicz, I believe that's how his name is pronounced. Sorry if I'm mention it or pronounce it the wrong way. Blazkowicz. I do not like the name BJ in front. I rather call him Terrorbilly. So that's mainly the storyline. If you played the first or the previous Wolfenstein games, so the story is similar, and they're just fighting the German Nazis. Right. So the battle system is your basic, simple point and shoot first-person shooter, the classic, right? And let me say that it's only a single-player game. There's no multiplayer in this game, and I believe that Machine Games said that it would ruin the game if it had multiplayer. And I believe not all games require multiplayer, but there are some people that think that if you don't have multiplayer, that it will be a failed game. But I can tell you now, Wolfenstein 2 is just one of those classic first-person shooters that you will play and enjoy yourself, you know. So you see the trailers where you just mow down enemies and you just wipe everything out, or just destroy everybody or destroy all the enemies, just mowing down all the enemies. You could only do that actually in the normal or hard mode that I find myself anyway. The scene you're looking behind me is the second hardest mode, which I believe is hard mode, but they have a different name for it. It's in German, I believe. And then you'll be enjoying the game as in the trailers if you're playing normal and hard mode, and you can just mow down enemies and just wipe the floor clean with any gun that you use. However, if you played on the hardest mode, I found myself doing more stealthy gameplay. I found myself going after the commander first so that it doesn't alert all the enemies. The reason is because basically all your enemies there are going to be aimbots. I got headshot a few times at full armor, although you do have less health as the harder modes you put up. You have I got headshot a few times at full armor by just a normal soldier, random soldier. So I found myself doing more stealthy gameplay, and when I actually tried to play it like shooting and mowed everything down, I will probably kill a lot, maybe 10, 15 before somebody just headshot me. And especially enemies that come out suddenly on the right, turn to face him and I just go down pretty quickly. So that is the hardest mode. And if you've played this game and you've played it on the hardest mode without doing any stealth, well, I salute you, because I couldn't do it. So we're in the shooting range right now, and I'm just going to briefly show you all the guns that they have in this game. So this is the pistol. You can either hold it in one hand or two hands like all the Wolfenstein before this. And then this is the semi-sub that I turned into a mini missile launcher. That's all missiles, little small missiles coming out from its weapon, and it's very effective against heavy infantry as well. Not only that, it has a silencer. Then we have the rifle, It's very powerful against both infantry and heavy infantry, and you can snipe. It has very good range. And you have the shotguns, one of the best guns as well in close quarters, like all other games. It's very powerful. This is fully upgraded, by the way. And then you have this laser gun that disintegrates everything and containers. And the other guns that you have in this game are hand grenades. You got the laser guns. You have this, it shoots fire out of it. It's like a shotgun basically. This is a shotgun. It's not as powerful as the shotguns that you have. So this would be the most useless gun among them all to me. And we have the Ubunzwix, which it fires out the giant laser, and it makes a small, anything that it hits, it makes a vortex and it'll do an area damage. And another gun that didn't show you here is this gun. It's a really small grenade launcher. I'll show you this. And it's a very fast grenade launcher. This, although, has been upgraded a little. So that's all for the guns I have in this game. Too bad I can't show you the heavy guns, the heavy lasers, everything. But don't want to spoil it. If you're getting this game after this review, well, you're gonna enjoy those guns, especially that laser gun, which fires out like it's firing a mini. It acts like a mini gun, but it's a laser gun. Okay, so the graphics in this game feels smooth and it looks pretty nice. It looks really nice, and as you can see behind me, it's just a beautiful game to play. The graphic engine is actually similar to the one they use with Doom. Though I think when I played Doom, I could get between 100 to 200 frame rates per second, and having a gaming monitor that supports 144 200 hertz, like I have you don't see any choppiness when you turn quickly left to right. If you have a 60 frame per second or 60 hertz monitor, you only can the monitor only can see up to 60 frames, and it's not that smooth, or it gets choppy. But a lot of people tend to disagree and agree between these two facts. But for me, I can see the difference between 60 and 144 frame rates per second, but in game. But Wolfenstein, I've not been able to get it at the stable 90. I mean, I'm getting 90 frames per second up to 120 frames per second, but I'm not getting the same frame rates as I'm getting in Doom for some reason. For some reason, sometimes it just sticks at 60 frames per second. I think the video behind me, you can see the FPS just right above me, and it is sticking between 60 and 70 for some reason. But once I restart the game, it goes back to 90 and 100 frames per second. So there's something going on there. I'm not sure why. So if you just restart the game and you get back that 90 and 100 frames per second, well, you're going to be enjoying it if you have a gaming monitor. The cutscenes, as you can see right behind me right now, well, I'm not sure. It looks good, but I'm not sure if they down the quality for each of the cutscenes. It looks like the gameplay is much more better than any of the cutscenes that they put up in the entire game, and it's a bit wide. Maybe it's done on purpose. I'm not sure if it is. And in terms of the graphics for the character build, they look pretty good, except that all of them have that. It looks like their eyes are nearly popping out. That's just me. The main characters has emotion. You can see the emotion in their characters. Just the eyes a little popping out. But the rest of the crew looks like they're zombies to me anyway. The having the eyes look like they're popping out, it looks like they're on drugs or something. But that's just my point of view anyway. Now, problems in the game. Let me just run down you from the first day I downloaded the game until the next day after. When I first got the game and downloaded, and I was still at an older driver from Nvidia, and I played again the first day. The game was smooth. I had no issues, no bugs, nothing whatsoever. And then they released a patch and new drivers. And once I patched the Wolfenstein game, but I didn't get the drivers, the game wouldn't start until I got the new drivers. And as soon as I upgraded it to the new drivers, I was getting crash dumps errors. I'm not sure why, but every few minutes or every few maybe 10 to 30 minutes within that time period, I'll get a crash dump. I'm not sure what caused that, but then they released a new graphic driver. I updated, just clean installed the graphic driver, and then I just did not have that error anymore, except when I alternate tap the game. So when I minimize the game and then go back in, I get a crash dump again for some reason. I'm not sure why. And I went away for 3 days for work things, and I came back 3 days later and there was a new patch. I downloaded the new patch, the new update for the game, and from then on I had no problems whatsoever. Everything was fine and smooth, and I could minimize the game, and I never received any crash dump like after that. So you don't have to worry. I believe that it fixes all the problem, all the crash dump issue, all the crashes on the game. So I believe that they already rectified everything, and if you get the game, you should not be worried about it. Gameplay. Is it fun? Would I recommend this game? Well, playing the game, I've enjoyed it moderately, as I said at the beginning of the video. So it's a fun game to play, but I think after I'm done with the story, I don't think I'm going to replay it again. I don't feel there's any replayability like most FPS game anyway. However, you do ride a giant robot dog in game though, which is fun. The music could have been much more I don't think that they used the proper music sometime in certain cases. They should have inserted everything to get you more immersed in the game. Okay, so the game is fun. The game is good, but I wouldn't call it fantastic. But it is a solid first-person shooter. It is challenging if you're playing at a hard mode. If you want it to be more challenging and you like stealth, and you can play it on the hardest difficulty. But then again, if you do go all out, guns blazing on the hardest difficulty and finish the game with it, I salute you. I died multiple times, many times. Especially there's one part where you actually have no weapons, very little health in a court, which turned out to be something. I'll stop right there. I'm not going to spoil any of the story for you. But would I recommend this game? I would recommend it if you have nothing else to play. You've finished all other games and you're looking for something to fill in the time and gaps. Yes, but bear in mind that somebody's drilling nearby. I'm not sure if it's catching it. Bear in mind that the game is one of those single player games that are made purely single player. So that's something to be taken into consideration, because there are a lot of companies nowadays that are not going for single player alone. Look at Shadow of War, for instance. There's all microtransaction and violence. Suddenly they turn it into a PvP. They're going to turn it into a PvP. I'm not sure it's out already, but I don't think that would work out possibly. But it is a game that does not have multiplayer, does not have microtransaction, and it's a pure single player game. And Machine Games also found that it should stay as a single player game. So yes, I would recommend it, but if you ask me to rate the game, I would give it a 7 out of 10, which is not bad, right? So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you next time. Off show out.